we've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlyn Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
Here we go again. Angel Reese is an absolute shambles after ESPN's latest 2025 rankings dropped. And let's just say reality hit harder than any defender she's boxed out this season. Reese thought she was the undisputed queen of the court, walking around with that "I'm the face of women's basketball" energy. But ESPN had other plans, ranking her not in the top 5, not even the top 10, but 12. That's right, 12. And let's be honest, this is still too high. But anyway, looks like the crown slipped now. She's out here reacting like someone stole her favorite pair of designer sunglasses, full in meltdown mode. Maybe ESPN just watched her recent blooper reel at Unrivaled.
Oh, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark. She's sitting pretty in second place, completely unbothered, letting her game do the talking, while Reese scrambles to save face. It's wild, because not too long ago, people were actually trying to force this rivalry, comparing Reese to Clark, like it was a real debate. Remember when even the commissioner was in on the action?
And if you recall from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one.
Well, consider that conversation officially over the gap isn't just clear. It's embarrassing. Clark didn't even have to break a sweat. And yet she's miles ahead while Reese is somewhere, probably rage scrolling through her mentions, trying to tweet through the pain. Don't believe me? Here's proof. Let's be real for a second. This is downright humiliating for Angel Reese. She had all the hype, all the media attention, and all the trash talk. She built her brand around being that girl, the so-called game changer. But when the dust settled and it was time to back it up, she's sitting outside the top 10 clutching her participation trophy. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark, she's been minding her business, dropping triple-doubles, shattering 62 records, and casually...
And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2. They had Caitlyn Clark. I said, really?
And please spare me but she's a double-double machine argument. Double-doubles are cool and all, but you know what's cooler? Being the actual reason people tune into games. ESPN used to have this weird anti-Clark energy, like they were allergic to admitting she was that girl. But guess what? Even they couldn't deny it anymore. She is the needle.
A lot of people say that Caitlyn Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
The numbers don't lie. The stats don't lie. And now finally, the rankings don't lie either. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans are out here squinting at the list, scrolling down desperately trying to find her name like it's hidden in the fine print. Sorry to break it to you, but 12th place isn't exactly superstar status. It's like showing up to an exclusive VIP party thinking you're the guest of honor, only to get stuck waiting outside while Caitlyn Clark's already inside, owning the room. The Caitlyn Clark haters really tried it, pushing every narrative they could to make it seem like Reese was on her level. But now silence crickets. It's almost peaceful without all that noise, isn't?
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball, great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
And let's not even pretend this would be the same story. If the roles were reversed, imagine if Caitlyn Clark was ranked 12th, while Angel Reese sat comfortably at number 2. The internet would be on fire. Sports shows would dedicate entire segments to it. Reese's fans would be celebrating like they won the WNBA championship. But now that Reese is the one sitting at 12th, suddenly rankings don't matter. Oh, now ESPN's list is irrelevant. Funny how that works. Convenient, isn't it?
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlyn was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlyn should.
The reality is rankings do matter, especially when you've built your whole persona around people watch women's basketball. For me too. And Caitlyn Clark, she's sitting at number 2. Though let's be honest, she should probably be number 1. But that's cool. She doesn't need to be at the very top of the list to prove she's the base of women's basketball. She's already done that with her record-breaking performances, packed arenas, and jaw-dropping highlights. This ranking, it's just confirmation of what we've known all along. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, yikes.
And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware, like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. You got to see this clip. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game. Angel Reese strips a player at one end, runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind.
What's even funnier is that ESPN must have finally caught up on reality. Caitlyn has become undeniable. Remember last season, when for reasons that defied all logic, ESPN actually ranked Angel Reese above Caitlyn Clark on the rookie list. Yes, above the same Caitlyn Clark who was out here breaking records like it was her side hustle, pulling up from the logo and making defenders question their life choices. And what was Reese doing? Vibing, that's about it.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rickea Jackson. 5, Julie Van Loo. And 6, Kate.
Now the truth is out, and the rankings reflect reality. Caitlyn Clark isn't just great, she's a generational talent. And Angel Reese, maybe next time less talking, more hooping. Sure, Angel Reese pulled down some rebounds, credit where it's due. But outside of that, what were we really looking at? A walking highlight reel of missed shots, lackluster defense, and an offensive bag that's emptier than a vending machine after midnight. Yet somehow, despite all the bricklaying and defensive lapses, she was crowned as one of the top rookies, even earning a Rookie of the Year vote. Fast forward to today, and it seems like the experts have finally opened their eyes. Maybe they actually watch the games. Maybe they stop believing the TikTok hype. Or maybe reality just hit them like
Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
This is exactly why last year's ESPN ranking was so baffling. They really tried to convince us that Angel Reese was better than Caitlyn Clark. Seriously, what were we watching? Caitlyn was out there leading her team, writing WNBA history books, and casually pulling up from the logo like it was part of her warm-up routine. Meanwhile, Angel was grinding out the most painfully average double-doubles you've ever seen, numbers that looked decent on paper, but meant nothing when you actually watch the games. Now, after months of excuses, overhyped debates, and keyboard warriors defending her every misstep, the truth is impossible to ignore Angel's game, isn't it? And the more she plays, the more ob-6 it becomes.
Player in the entire league, not on the Olympic team. Just pointing that out. And of course, you did have some haters. Please, Clark is not better than Stewie, Fee, or Inescu. Clark is not better than Stewart. They glazing Clark is not better than Inescu, blah, blah, blah. No matter what Caitlyn Clark does, she's going to have some haters out there. It's just they're losing their minds over all the people that have either been traded for and signed for the Indiana Fever right now. And of course, it looks like a powerhouse of a team.
We're finally done with the nonsense. The great debate between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. Yeah, that never should have been a debate in the first place. The record is officially straight. Caitlyn Clark is her, and Angel Reese is just there. Clark is redefining the game, breaking records, draining logo 3 yes with ease, and making defenders look like they're stuck in slow motion. The best part, she does it all while Angel and her crew sit on the sidelines throwing shade like it's their full-time job. Someone should probably tell Angel that trash talk is only cute when you're actually backing it up. Otherwise, it's just noise.
Asia number 1, Caitlyn number 2. Brianna number 3, and now we really have Brianna over Nafisa in terms of projections going into next year. Stop. Nafisa Collier is definitely top 2 in this.
And then there are the Angel Reese stands. Oh boy, the delusion is historic. They'll swear up and down that her game is unstoppable, while conveniently ignoring the fact that she's bricking shots like she's trying to build affordable housing. They'll cry about haters whenever someone points out basic facts. Newsflash, it's not hate if it's true. We're not being mean. We're just using our eyes. Try it sometime. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark is out here casually dropping 30-point games, setting records like it's just another Tuesday, and generating more revenue for the league than entire franchises combined. The impact is undeniable, Angel. She's just out there existing, and when her team loses, which happens more often than her fans like to.
There is no individual who has benefited more from the Caitlyn Clark effect than Angel Reese. That's my hot take. Think about it. From going up against her, playing her in college, taking on that villain role, going into the league at the same time as Caitlyn Clark, everything that she's said and done on social media or in post-game press conferences, she is a star because of Caitlyn Clark. She would not be a star if Caitlyn Clark weren't a player. She'd be just as good a women's basketball player. She'd have been picked high in the WNBA draft and would still be a good player. Yep. But she is a star because of Caitlyn Clark.
She would be a star in women's basketball circles.
Well, that's not what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
She's a star.
The debate is over. Not that it ever should have been a debate to begin with. Caitlyn Clark is the future of the WNBA, the face of women's basketball, and a generational talent who's already changing the game. Angel Reese. She's just another player with a loud fan base and a jumper that needs divine intervention. And honestly, that's all that needs to be said.
Angel Reese went on this massive rant last year with Kennedy Carter, I believe, standing next to her about how people are tuning in for her. It wasn't just one other person, but all these people are moving the needle and people want to watch her, except you're not her. You're not.
Right now, there's only one name standing between Caitlyn Clark and that MVP trophy. And unfortunately for the rest of the league, it's A'ja Wilson. Yeah, sure, Asia's got her MVP awards. She's been the cornerstone of a stacked Aces team, and she's definitely a force. But let's be real, she's holding on to that top spot for dear life, because Caitlyn Clark is coming, and she's coming fast this time next year. We might be talking about Clark as the undisputed best player in the league. And honestly, would anyone even be surprised? Not at all. The Indiana Fever went absolutely wild in free agency, stacking their roster with talent like they're trying to assemble the Avengers. And Caitlyn, she's about to go full superhero mode. We're talking MVP level numbers, record-breaking threes and defenses, looking like they accidentally walked onto the wrong court, completely clueless on how to guard her. The Fever are looking scary, and the Aces better hope their championship window isn't closing, because Caitlyn's arrival just shook up the entire league. As for Angel Reese, she might want to stop worrying about ESPN rankings and start worrying about staying relevant, because if this season was any indication, things are only going to get worse.
What the Indiana Fever did last night got me so excited. The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlyn Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season.
One thing is crystal clear: Caitlyn Clark is the main event, the superstar, the showstopper. She keeps getting better, and the rankings prove it. More points, more fans, more broken records, more eyeballs glued to the screen every time she steps on the court at this point. The only thing she hasn't done is sign autographs while dropping 40. But give it time, it's probably on her to-do list. Reese fans were loud in 2024, screaming about how she was on Clark's level. But now crickets, they went from Reese is just as good as Caitlyn to, well, Reese tries really hard. And even that's a stretch on some nights. It's been a while since anyone with a straight face could put Reese and Clark in the same sentence, unless the sentence is
I think they had a list last year. She was like 15 or something like that. And Angel was like 19. And this year they got it closer to being right. It's more so, it's closer, okay? She's second. And I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
And since we're on the topic of overrated, let's take a moment to talk about Wilson. Oh, I know Aces fans are already foaming at the mouth, clutching their championship banners like it's a security blanket. But let's be real, you all act like she's the second coming of basketball greatness, when in reality, she's just riding the coattails of a stacked super team. Put Caitlyn Clark on that same roster, and she's dropping 50 points a night, while probably solving world hunger in her spare time. Wilson fans love to act like she's untouched, touchable. But let's not forget, she disappears in big moments more often than my Wi-Fi during a thunderstorm.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all the that's going on. And I think that's commendable. I think she's a unicorn. She's doing everything I thought she was going to do and more, like win the MVP.
You think Caitlyn
That's not going to happen this year, but it could happen very soon.
It's great for the conversation.
Y'all all went to the Olympics and now y'all losing now. Y'all burnt out? Y'all should have let this young girl go over there and play.
I just don't
But
think
then she
there's
would
a
have been
correlation.
Nah, but she would because she's a rookie. You let these young play. Caitlyn Clark is a superhero.
Now here's where it gets really funny. Wilson are having a full-on meltdown, blaming the Fever front office for daring to build a competitive team around Caitlyn Clark. Like, how dare Indiana actually try to win? First of all, it's literally the job of a front office to build the best team possible. That's their entire purpose. And second, weren't these the same people cheering when the Aces loaded up with 6 Olympians? Oh, but now it's a problem, because the Fever did it better. The irony is almost too good.
Caitlyn Clark is somebody that is going to probably, she's going to, I would say, be, in my opinion, the second favorite for MVP. I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP in the WNBA. That is how confident I am in Caitlyn Clark's year.
Over in Indiana, though things are looking bright like championship bright, the Fever are riding a wave of momentum. That's more like a tsunami. At this point, Caitlyn Clark's arrival was already seismic. But now it's like they poured rocket fuel on an already blazing fire. Analysts are calling them a top 3 team in the league, with some even predicting they'll take the championship this year. This isn't just an improvement from the team that could barely scrape together 5 wins 2 seasons ago. This is a full-blown WNBA power shift.
Need somebody to investigate Indiana. I need Indiana investigated. Unfortunately for Indiana, I will be praying on their downfall. I will be praying for them to lose every single game. I just can't. I just can't.
And through it all, Caitlyn just keeps doing Caitlyn things, making history, packing arenas, and casually breaking records like it's her weekend hobby. She's got more fans than half the league combined. And honestly, the WNBA should be sending her thank you notes and fruit baskets at this point, because she's single-handedly raising the league's profile as the 2025 WNBA season approaches. The entire basketball world is buzzing with anticipation. The Indiana Fever, once the league's lovable underdogs, are now legit title contenders. Caitlyn Clark is finally being recognized for what she's always been, one of, if not the best basketball players in the world. A'ja Wilson better watch her back, and Angel well. She's somewhere in the